Wow. I feel like these last two episodes are really showing that Meredith might have a bit of an issue because you are quintuple downing on the BS. And Bronwyn, I love you, but you are very messy, ma'am. Very messy and very defensive when you're called out on your messiness. Please stop that.
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right, welcome back to the Asia Esterak Hour. I'm Asia Esterak. Okay, I didn't do last week's episode, and I'm gonna do a quick review of this week. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 6, episodes 11 and 12. Okay, episode 11. Basically, the entire episode was them calling out Meredith and her deflecting about what happened on the plane with her and Brittany. Bronwyn, we learn, is Canadian. I didn't know that. So she's trying to get her American citizenship. That was pretty much episode 11. One thing I want to say about episode 11, Meredith, I think you might have a problem, babe. It's very obvious that you might have been blacked out when you were on the plane because the fact that you don't remember it and you are really doubling, quintupling down on. We argued for maybe I said I got upset for about 25 minutes. I fell asleep and watched 2 movies. They even called her out because she said she watched the movie Crazy Rich Asians. So they were like, how'd the movie end? They were like, it had a major ending. How'd it end? She didn't know the ending. Now that could be anything. She could have fell asleep. But I think it's crazy because Meredith, girl, you went off on that girl. You clearly were going off on Brittany on the plane. And the fact that you don't remember and you're really trying to stick to the lie is crazy. Again, it just solidifies it, not even solidifies. It confirms why you and Lisa Barlow are friends. Y'all are the same person. I actually think you might be worse because Lisa Barlow comes off ridiculous. Like, to me, she's not believable at all. There's nothing believable about her. So I don't take her seriously. I would take a Meredith more seriously than I would a Lisa Barlow. One thing that happened in episode 11. So Bronwyn, who was not on the plane, she's hearing hearsay from. She's hearing everybody else's experience about what happened, and she actually meets up with Whitney, and Whitney's telling her what happens. She later meets with Meredith and is messy and brings back the bone to Meredith, saying that Whitney was saying that maybe you were under the influence. Blah 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 blah. Bronwyn, I really like you, but you do that a lot. And then you get really brand new when you get called out about it. You own it, but then you get defensive. Don't get defensive. So then later on at the end of the episode at Mary's luncheon thingy after her church service, Bronwyn is like, well, Meredith kind of sells her out. Bronwyn's like, well, thanks. I damaged my relationship with Whitney trying to protect you. No one told you to protect Meredith, Bronwyn. With some of your movement, sometimes I'm like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? And another thing, your relationship with Todd is an asshole. He's not, he acts like he don't even like you. Anyway, episode 11 kind of ended at the church service. They didn't get anywhere. I'm sorry, it didn't end there. It ended with Meredith meeting up with Brittany. She met her at the park and pretty much somewhat apologized to her. Brittany, I think Brittany, you're very accepting of the apologies immediately. We get it. You want to be accepted by the group. She didn't really own anything. It's the whole, I'm sorry if I offended you. The if, she loves using if in her apologies. But okay, girl. So episode 11, basically in this episode, Brittany tells the other girls that Meredith met up with her and apologized. It was funny because Heather was like, if Meredith asked me to meet up at a park, I know, right? So in this episode, Whitney and her husband have a tough conversation about the business. Basically, she regrets going into business with her husband. You could tell it's really affecting her. She talks about it every episode. Whitney, you'll be all right. You'll bounce back, girl. You will bounce back. I'm off and on with Whitney, but you know what? I do like Whitney. She does take accountability. She is messy, but she will call you out and she will own her shit. So I have nothing but respect for that. Um, Bronwyn wants to have a Boston tea party to Boston spill the tea party because you know that's going to go over well. Basically celebrating that she's getting her American citizenship and for the ladies to get some stuff off their chests. She picks up Todd from the airport in this sloth outfit, which was kind of funny. Could he be any more underwhelmed when he saw her? He's so like, he just seems so annoyed by her. And maybe it's the cameras, I don't know, but he just never seems pleased with her. So when they're driving back from the airport, she's telling him like, "Oh, I did something bad," and he's like, "Oh, let me guess, you something with the group of ladies." Bronwyn, I don't even know why you try anymore with him. I just okay, girl. Um, she shares a really good moment with her mom as well. Her mom is definitely prickly, but it's cool that her mother is still willing to engage with her in her outside activities. They were doing stuff for Pride in Utah, and she admitted her mom is not into it politically. Sounds like mommy's religious and you know, not into the gay thing, but clearly you are into the gay thing. You participated with your daughter. And I wish people would get over the whole I don't like gay people shit. Like, come on now. It's the same with racism. Like, can we move past this shit already? God damn. We all gotta live on this fucking blue rock hurtling through space and pay taxes. Can we at least try to get along? I digress. So anyway, they get to the so we get to this Boston spill the tea party. It was in this warehouse. Angie shows up first. Everybody's dressed up in these ridiculous George Washington wigs and outfits, looking like Betsy Ross. They get in there, they start playing these games, and I guess they're supposed to write down some tea that they've spilled about someone in the group and then throw the proverbial box into the ocean, emulating what you know, what folks in the past did. Um Cute game. I felt like it didn't go anywhere, but it did get Meredith getting called out. So at one point, so Angie goes first and talks about how when they were on the boat, she spilled some tea. She talked about Lisa Barlow. So Lisa Barlow, they flashback, apparently says that she just bought a horse that's running in the Kentucky Derby. Angie spills tea saying that she heard that Lisa doesn't own the horse, that she's renting it. I totally believe that. With all these financial issues, how are you? When do you have time for a horse, let alone paying for one, buying one, and maintaining one? My parents had two horses when I was in high school and a miniature horse. That shit was a lot, a whole lot. Bought that miniature horse from my sister and sold that shit a few years later. Shout out to Matchy, the miniature horse. Horse was cool. Anyway, so Lisa, of course, is denying it. And then here's what's funny. This is how you know she be lying. That's what I'm saying. At this point, why do you take her seriously? Lisa Barlow there's nothing serious about her. She's so like, I called her a speck in another review. She's a speck. She's insignificant. The only time she becomes significant is when she starts talking shit and bucking. And even then it's like, girl, shoe fly don't bother me. So of course, when Angie's calling her out, she's like, she goes, because she talks about getting another horse. And she's like, so what are why are you buying the horses? What are you doing with the horses? It's none of your business. Because girl, you don't own a horse. You're renting it. And what's wrong with saying that? It's giving childhood trauma that you never dealt with this shit and super deep insecurities. I could do a whole deep dive on Lisa Barlow's ass, but I've given you a lot. So I'm gonna let it go. So anyway, we get to Bronwyn and Whitney, and Whitney kind of calls Bronwyn out about the whole thing with Meredith, and then that just swirls into the whole Meredith situation. My thing with this scene though, Bronwyn, don't be defensive. Don't be defensive because you did bring it back to Meredith in a messy kind of way. And Meredith's whole thing is, well, Whitney, you are implying that I'm a drug addict. And da, 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 da. Well, baby, that's what it's giving. It's giving you like the dolls, darling, and you like to drink. And you clearly were blacked out on the plane. And we too old to be doing that. As a recovering alcoholic, recovering drunk, fuck up, girl, I recognize that shit in other people. Baby, I see it in you. I see it in you. And you're human. That's okay. You just do better. But you over here want to deflect and pop. You just want to deflect all over the place. And you don't give genuine apologies. Her and Heather get into it. And Heather's like, you didn't really apologize to me. You texted me and put sorry if I upset you on the plane. It's like, Lisa Barlow and Meredith cannot take other people's feelings about them. They can't handle someone's experience of them. And that's not good. As a human being that lives amongst other humans, that's not good. You might as well, why don't you go into the Bat Cave and stay there then? Because it just doesn't make any sense to me. So her and Whitney start going back and forth, and Whitney's like, well, I can call you what I think you are. Pill popper, out or drunk or alcoholic. I forget what she says. It was not good. Um, the episode, I felt like nobody got anywhere. Mary had me dying. Mary arrived a little late. She looked at the wigs and was like, no. um, I feel like these last two episodes have been solely focused on Meredith and her bullshit. Um, I don't know. I feel like Meredith is not going to own it. It's very obvious she's not going to own it. I think everybody knows what's going on with her, and I think we just need to move past it. Um, her and Lisa Barlow are cut from the same cloth, and now that we know that Jen Shah's ass is getting out in December, and if they bring, I don't think Jen Shah should come back to the show. I actually think she's trash. But but if I was a producer on the show, you better believe I would bring her ass back on the show. That's ratings. But my prediction is she's gonna come back and be cool with Lisa and Meredith, and it's gonna be them versus the rest of the cast, with Heather in the middle holding fort. I talked a lot of shit about Heather this season. Heather, girl, you are killing it this season. You really are. Good episodes. Meredith, I think you might have a problem, babe. I really do. And I hope that you see that. I hope you watch this season back, you and your little annoying friend, Lisa, and y'all realize it's y'all. It's y'all. Anyway, quick reviews. God, there's so many new shows coming on. Married to Medicine is back. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is tonight. Lord. Anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. It's hump day. Stay hydrated. Stay warm. Be nice to each other. And I'm going to go return these videotapes.